So these markers work really, really well with fine liners and ink pens and stuff like that. They work really well. That is a super plus. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Is It Worth It, where I go around the world and the internet finding art supplies to help make your arting just a little bit easier or just a little bit more enjoyable. Today we're going to keep on going with the trend of Five Below, and we are going to be looking at these neutral markers from Five Below. I do believe that these were just repackaged. They had some other markers that looked exactly like this, but these are now deemed as neutral markers. And well, you know how I feel about the markers that Five Below has, the illustration markers. And I'm wondering, since these do not say illustration markers, if these are going to be any different. So come on, let's go check it out. All right, so as you can see, this box, just like every other box from Five Below, is actually just a regular plastic box, right? It's pretty it's pretty flimsy. It's just a box to contain it. As you can see, $5 for the cost of these markers, and there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 markers. It says it right there, 12 markers for $5, which is absolutely amazing. And it's skin tones and grays, so I'm really interested in seeing what that is going to look like. It has 5-day drawing prompts on there. I think that is something that is happening with Five Below. They're putting that on all their packaging, which I think is pretty interesting, because it does allow you to go like, well, what should I be drawing today? All right, here you go. So it's a nice little touch. You can't complain about that. It's pretty cool. All right, so there we go. As always, the little sticker is very sticky. So, all right, we'll grab one of these more. Oh, okay. So first off, I really do not like the feel of this one. Like, the illustration markers are more square, and they feel better in your hand. And I think that the reason for that is this cover, like the illustration plastic part or paper part that is actually telling you what it is, like the dual tip marker and burnt umber, because it has a very, very strong gloss on it, so it just feels really, really fake. So I don't necessarily like that feel. It is round, right? So obviously if you put it down, it's just gonna keep rolling type deal, so you do have to worry about that. Not a huge deal breaker, but you know, it's round. I don't know, it just doesn't feel as natural as it could in my hand. The nibs look pretty good. I mean, the nibs look really good. It really reminds me of a Prismacolor marker. So there's that. Let's see the snap. Oh yeah. The one thing you got to give the Five Below markers is that it really has a nice snap. So you know that the color and ink isn't going to dry up. So that's nice. But I can already tell it fails the cap test. Right? So it doesn't connect. So that's kind of sad. But besides that, this honestly just looks like a Prismacolor marker. So with Prismacolor's prices going up, to see if you can actually get some nice colors out of these Five Below markers is going to be very interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and grab this page real quick. Pull all these markers out. All right, well, it says that it has some grays, but to be honest, let's see, it's got a blue gray and a 70% warm gray. I think that's it. Let's see, in that black. So I guess that counts as a gray. But everything else is more of a skin tone, and then these reds. No, wait, no, here's a 6 warm gray. And the rest of these are colors, and these are the only grays that we have, which is kind of sad, as it touts itself as being grays and skin tones, so that's kind of a bummer. but interesting. So first I'm going to go ahead and try this cool gray, all right, or blue gray, not even cool gray. Oh wow, I mean, you cannot argue with the Five Below quality. I mean, the color comes out so nice. All right, if you learn how to use them, you don't get the big blotch spot on the top, right? Like you get used to pulling them across and getting a nice straight line without having the little dot in the front. But those are super opaque. Look at that. That is just so nice. Really makes me wish there were more colors for the grays. This is great. All right, let's see. Let's try the warm grays. Let's see how that works. Ooh. That is not, that is way too dark. I mean, that's a brown. Right, that's a brown. This is supposed to be a warm gray 6, which I'm assuming is 60% gray, and that is brown. So normally the warm grays has a little bit of red into it, which is nice. You know, it allows you to do variations between your warm and cool colors. But I mean, I guess if you're looking for a really dark brown, these are great, right? I mean, these for the marker, I mean, for the cost itself already, these are already proving to be great. They flow real nicely, they dry evenly. This is some good stuff. All right, we're just gonna go through these markers and see. I'm gonna test out the colors, pretty much is what we're gonna do. All right, that is a nice, I mean, that's a nice, what is this, raw silk? It's a nice looking color. All right. I'm gonna push on these skin tones and see what we have. So, and this was a baby skin pink. Now, the one thing that I'm noticing with the lighter colors is that the ink doesn't actually come out as quickly as the darker colors do. But it's still pretty quick, so it's not that big a deal. This is a light camel. Some weird names. Oh wait, I found a warm grain 4. Okay, let's see. Let's put this up here. Yeah, see, these are really brown. Right? It's a nice, I mean, this is a nice brown. It's a really nice brown, but as you can see, these are almost black. You know, these two are really, really dark, and this one's a really light brown. So, I mean, we got some nice, it's a nice brown, but it's not necessarily the color we're looking for. What's this one? This one's burnt umber. Oh, I mean, the thing is that I have to say about these markers, though, it's such, like the color ones, these are such a nice, rich color. These are really nice colors, right? I mean, even this gray, I mean, the one that's really not looking that good is the warm grays. They just don't seem to be the right combination. What is this? This is a green gray. I don't actually see the green, and it says that it's a green gray, and it's got a purple wrapper around it, so that's really odd. Which one's this? Oh, and this one's a cool gray. Okay, see, I didn't really look at any of these because mostly because this says this is a purple, right? That's purple, and this is a cool gray 4, so this is the 40% gray, which I think is really dark. I think that is probably my biggest concerns with these colors right now, is that for the most part the colors are just too dark. It's a nice one. It's a nice color. And then let's check out the black. Since we're saying everything is too dark, let's see how the black is nice and opaque. You know, and then the black isn't as dark as it could be. But I mean, these nibs are very sturdy. They give you a nice feathered line, right? They're good. These are, I mean, some of them are, I mean, it's pretty nice. I think that the colors are not matching up to what they're supposed to be, right? Like these are really dark. The 40% gray is really dark. The green gray, as it dries, I can see a little bit of the green, but it's really not as green as most of them. So it's almost more like a neutral gray. And then this blue gray is nice. And then these colors are nice. So the half the pack is pretty good. Let's see if we can get some type of blend going with these markers. I think it's this one. Yeah, okay. So if we come in the light one, all right, get it nice and of course, you know, we're not using a brush, so which is normally what happens when you try and do transitions. You use a brush and it's really nice. And you just kind of come in, try and even that out. So we'll let that dry and we'll see what happens. And then I think these browns are pretty good too. Wait, this is the dark one. Do this reddish one. Right, a red one. We'll do the dark over top of it. And just come back over and try and blend it out. We're gonna let those dry for a minute, and then we're gonna check to see how they actually blend it out, if it works out. And let's see. So until then, we'll do. Okay, so it's Copic. I'm gonna do our little line test to see what we can do. This one is Faber-Castell. This one is Staedtler. This one is Micron. And no, I can't find my identity pen. All right, well then I guess we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this one. This is G. Genvana. We're trying different ones. Genvana, and of course we're gonna use a lighter color. Over that. We'll try this one. Oops. Try this blue. Ooh, that one just picked up something real quick. I'm just gonna go through some of these markers. And this green gray. All right, let's see. So I have to say, except for this part, this little spot right here, which I think it just caught some wet ink. You know, I think it just caught some wet ink down here. It's not smearing anything. So these markers work really, really well with fine liners and ink pens and stuff like that. They work really well. That is a super plus, right? So that's really nice. With the blends, I mean, I think you could get some, you know, clearly we just kind of blended that out, and there is still a strong division, and mostly because that's a huge jump between these two, right? I'm sure you could work this a little bit more while it was wet, and you can smear some of the colors around and stuff like that, and it would actually work. But because there's such a huge jump, it doesn't really work. Whereas with this one, right, these two colors are relatively close, and so it really makes that blend very easy, and it blends really well, right? So you could just come in here and really just blend those out if you had the colors together. So yeah, so it does really well with this, and if you have colors that are close together, then it blends pretty well. All right, so we just got done reviewing the Five Below neutral markers, the 12 alcohol dual tipped neutral markers, and I have to say they do not hold up to the illustration markers. Like those, the illustration markers are something that I take with me personally to conventions to do my commissions, my professional work. So those are really strong markers than the illustration ones. But these ones, they're not the same, right? They are definitely not the same in either the actual physical form of the marker or in how it flows or how it blends. They're all right if you're looking for, you know, a $5 set of markers. It's really close, really quick. It's not that bad. But with the fact that there is such a variety and nothing's really close to each other in colors, you can't even really blend a lot of them, and they are like one shots, and everything is super dark. Like all the grays are super dark. The warm grays are pretty much black. They're brown, right? So they're really brown, and as you get into the 60 and 70, it is just a black color, and so that doesn't really help anything, right? That the colors are really dark. The lights are pretty cool. So if you want an individual color, that's cool, especially with all the professional markers being somewhere around $5 to $6 anyway. So if there was one that you really enjoyed in this pack, then yeah, you could just pick it up for that one single marker, because it does flow well. The nibs are great, right? So it like I said, it reminds me of Prisma. It reminds me of Prismacolor markers, but the mixture of ink and alcohol based, it's just not, it's not good because it doesn't give you what it says, right? Like there's a purple wrapper that's supposed to be blue, or it's supposed to be a cool gray, and that's just not right? It'll just throw you, and you don't want to have any type of mix-ups when you're actually working and be like, oh, I'm gonna grab this purple, and then it's blue. So I can't say that this particular pack is worth it. The only way you could say that it was worth it is if you saw a color and you're like, I really like that particular color, and so you pick up the rest just to have, and you get that one color. Well, I hope that this review was helpful and that you got something from it. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like and a share. Let everyone know that we're doing these reviews to help you so that you don't have to go out and buy them and then be upset later. And if there are any supplies that you would like me to actually review, please go ahead and drop it in the comments below and I will add it to the list. If you are new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. All the support that you guys have given me makes it worth doing all of these things. So I want to continue doing that, and if you subscribe and share and like, it lets me know that this is something that you guys are actually enjoying and gaining some type of knowledge from. All right, well, thank you guys so very much, and I will see you at the next episode.